Welcome to the Infinite Life podcast. I'm your host, Katische Haberfield. As a spiritual regression therapist, spirit releasement therapist, and medium, I help my clients to break free of karmic behaviors and limiting beliefs impacting their lives. This free podcast takes you behind the scenes in sessions with my clients as they experience regression sessions and celestial healings, as they access the wisdom of their sub and superconscious mind and witness the unfolding story of their soul. I hope this podcast provides you with inspiration and insights that can be applied to your life. Welcome back to the Infinite Life podcast. I'm your host, Katische Haberfield. Now, this week we are continuing on with Ruby's Spirit Releasement session. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, please go back and listen to that episode now before you continue. Otherwise, this episode won't make sense. So last week we left off after Ruby had cleared the energy from going back in time to see that Ouija board scene. Now, where we're about to take off this week is we take up with meeting her spirit guides, and then we are going to do further spirit releasement. And it's quite interesting this week because we'll be talking to some pets, some animal spirit guides, and a lady who poses as being a figure of tranquility and peace in Mother Earth, who turns out to be not quite who she claims to be. So this season and this particular episode is all about understanding who you are really channeling and who you're really connecting to when you go into altered states of consciousness, including meditation. And understanding the difference between something that is a spirit attachment and a communication that you are having with somebody on the other side. It's a really important distinction to know the difference between a voice that is attached to you and a voice that is outside of you, healed and crossed over. So I'll let you listen to and digest this episode. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them to me on social media. Facebook's probably the easiest place to send me a message. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact with me. Don't forget, if something in this episode with Ruby resonated with you, then get in touch with me at katische.com and book yourself a selection of sessions. It is, after all, why we share this whole entire season, is to educate and to show people in real time what it's like to do spirit releasement therapy and why people do spirit releasement therapy. So I hope you enjoy this enlightening episode of the podcast. Take care. Now, what I want you to go back to is that beautiful white room with a beautiful white chair that you started at the beginning of the session. And what I want you to do now, Ruby, is it's time to meet your spirit guides. This is the exciting part.
Okay.
So when you're comfy in that chair, I want you to notice suddenly that there is a chair being placed either side of you now. Okay. And we are going to have somebody sit on the left-hand side of you and somebody sit on the right-hand side of you. And we're going to meet them and we're going to play a game with them. They're already aware of this game, so don't worry, you're not going to be upsetting them. They're part of it. I already talked to them about this before. So what I want them to do is make their energy felt. So one at a time, they're going to come. I'll talk to one and we'll play the game, and then the second person will come and we'll play a game. So it's just one at a time. Okay, Ruby? They'll make their energy felt. So what'll happen is they'll start off with their energy far away, and then millimeter by millimeter, they're going to bring in their energy closer and closer and closer until you begin to feel it. And what I'm looking for is words that convey what this energy feels like, or looks like, or sounds like.
On my right hand side, I feel all tingly, like it's tickly and tingly.
Okay, tickly and tingly. And how do you see the energy? If you can focus on the energy, does it have a shape, a color, a form?
An old man.
Okay. All right. And does this old man look happy or
Yeah.
happy? Okay. And how is he dressed?
In a cape, like a long grey cape.
Okay. And what's his name?
Henry.
Henry. Hello, Henry. Henry, lovely to meet you today. Henry, how long have you been with Ruby?
52 years.
52.
That isn't. No, I'm not even 52.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. They can come and go at many times of your life. Okay. They can also be with you over multiple incarnations. So this Henry's been there for 52 years. Okay, Henry.
Okay.
What do you help Ruby with that she's unaware of? Or what could you be potentially helping Ruby with? What part of her life is your focus?
Nature. In the
Nature.
garden.
Okay. And Henry, when you try to communicate with Ruby in the past, how have you tried to do this? Can you show her now?
Butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Birds.
Mm-hmm. And when that being from the green planet came, the green light, what message did you try to send her?
Oh. Her mum. A vision of her mum.
Ah, okay.
In the garden near the tree.
Mm-hmm.
But she was inside sad.
Okay. And can you show Ruby other times you've tried to communicate with her?
In the basement when she was painting.
Mm-hmm.
In the greenhouse when the blue tick got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
In the pond when the dragonfly landed on her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lots of time.
You're a very patient man, Henry. Well done. And Henry, may I ask you, dear, are you okay for a moment just to play the game?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. All right. So this is just to teach you a concept, okay, Ruby? And we're not going to hurt or insult Henry in any way. He's freely participating in this game. So imagine you're in your kitchen, and it doesn't matter whether you have this in real life or not, but imagine there is a pot of salt beside you, and it's got that little spoon, right? You dip in to get some salt. So I want you to look at Henry, and I want you to fling some salt at him.
Okay.
What happens?
He shakes it.
Yeah, but he's still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just wait a few seconds, see if anything happens to Henry.
Oh, he flies away. He changed from a man to a bird. And he flew away up in the corner.
Okay. And then what happens?
He just flaps about a bit.
Okay.
Oh, And then he's back, but in the other bit, but as a person. He's tricky.
So, Henry, did you just play that part to show her how the salt can change, or are you really a spirit? Are you really her spirit guide?
I am.
You are, okay. And so what was the point of showing her the bird?
Because I'm always here.
Okay. All right. Now, Ruby, what I want to tell you is that if Henry had changed into a bird and then that bird had dissolved, that was he would have been a fake spirit guide, okay?
Okay.
A negative being trying to present to be a certain person, yeah?
Okay.
So anytime you fling salt at a so-called spirit guide, if it's a real spirit guide, they'll do something funny and try to make light of it and then come back and they'll be back in their original form. If it's a fake spirit guide, they'll resist it, but then eventually they will dissolve.
Okay.
Now, the other thing, I want you to look into Henry's eyes. Can you see his eyes?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So here's the other test. If this was a fake spirit guide, a non-pleasant being, you would not be allowed to see their eyes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the salt test and the eye test. And then the third thing you can do to check is you can ask them if they come from the light. Okay. And if it's a negative entity, they will be afraid of the light. They will say something negative about the light. Oh, I don't want the light will burn me, or the light's unsafe, or whatever it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you're really worried, you can always ask them who's their master or something like that. And somebody in the light will say either the light, or they'll say Jesus, or they'll say God or source, or, some kind of a descriptive word. Okay. So that's your test. Okay. Thank you, Henry. Now, Henry, were you ever a human being before you were in spirit as a spirit guide?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And did you have a lifetime with Ruby in another life?
Yes.
Okay. And what life was that?
I was a grandfather.
Uh-huh.
Many years ago.
Many years ago.
Many, many, many years ago.
Okay. All right. Well, Henry, thank you. You can communicate directly now with Ruby. She's getting your messages loud and clear, and should it be of benefit for her in the future to access that past life to reveal wisdom, I'm sure you will guide her to how to do that or who to get help with to do that. Okay, so I really thank you. And we'll just move your vision to the other chair now, Ruby.
Okay.
And I want you to ask that spirit guide to move their energy in closer, bit by bit by bit. And as the energy gets closer and closer and closer to you, I want you to describe to me how it looks and feels.
Well, it feels like it's quite heavy and pulling me down, but like in a protective way, not like in a heavy bad way, like as if somebody's draping on your shoulder or something.
Okay, so I want you to look closer. Is that, how does this represent to you? Color, shape, image?
Like black. It's a black, like a smudge, like a heavy smudge.
Okay. And can you see this black heavy smudge's eyes?
No.
No. Throw salt at it, please.
You didn't like it.
All right. So we're going to call in the rescue spirits of light and the spiritual police. Please come and take this being away. Immediately transmute them and send them back to source.
It's gone now.
Beautiful. Okay. So look at that chair again. Ask the energy to come in closer.
It's like a little tickle on my nose.
Tickle on your nose. Okay.
Mm.
And feel the contrasting sensation between that energy and the previous one.
This is playful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And does it have a color or a form?
It's a little mouse.
Oh, that's very sweet. Hello, little mouse. And little mouse, do you have a mouse name that Ruby calls you?
Mouse.
Mouse. Okay. And mouse, how long have you been with Ruby?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. And what area of her life are you helping her with?
Fun.
Fun, that's what I thought. Okay. And how do you currently try to get her attention?
Nibbler.
Okay. All right. And did you have anything that you wanted to tell her today?
Be more fun again.
Okay. And little mouse, can you tell us, before we started this session, Ruby mentioned a mole. Do you know anything about the mole?
Oh, he's grumpy.
He's
He's
grumpy.
a grumpy mole. Yeah, he's a grumpy mole. He doesn't play.
Okay. And is he a spirit guide, or is he what's called a negative being?
He's just, I don't know. I think he thinks he's the boss, but he isn't.
He isn't. Okay. Can you bring in the mole for us, darling?
Oh, okay.
It's all right. You're safe. I'll deal with the mole. It's okay. Hello, mole.
Hello.
Hello. My name's Katische. How are you doing?
Well, I've got so much to do.
You've got so much to do. Oh, you're a bit like Ruby then, aren't you? She's always got so
Oh,
much to
yeah.
do. She's always packaging things up, and it's quite difficult, all those magazines she's got to print, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And are you around Ruby a lot?
No, only when she wants me to be.
Okay. When does she want you to be?
When she's confused and needs things working out.
Okay. And how do you help her?
Try and make her stay away from the old woman and choose the proper path.
The old woman. Who's the old woman?
She lives in the cave underground. I have to stand at the door.
Cave underground, and you stand at the door. But how does Ruby go to the cave underground? Does she know she's...
Yeah, meditation. She does a meditation and goes under the tree, and down she goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to block her and tell her to go to the other way.
Okay. Is the lady under the ground Alice?
No.
No.
She's an old lady that's ratty.
Okay.
And makes me do loads of things.
Okay, so Mr. Mole, why are you there? Why do you have allegiance to this lady under the ground?
She trapped me.
Trapped you. Okay. Are you ready to be free?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure what the equivalent of an angel for the moles is, but I'm going to bring it in now, and then you can tell me what it looks like. Okay. This is the first time for me. So
Okay.
Archangel Michael, please send in the rescue police for moles to help rescue this little mole from the lady under the tree. So you'll see something very light and bright and beautiful to you.
Wispy.
Wispy?
Wispy round and round.
Mm-hmm.
Glittery and wispy.
Okay. All right. So don't be afraid of it. I want you to jump into it, like as though you're going to jump into Ruby's arm for a hug.
Okay.
All right. And this will set you free and take you to the light. All right. God bless, little mole.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Ruby. Looks like we've got to go find out about this lady under the tree. So
Okay.
I want you to take back in time to a moment where you started your meditation and went down to visit the lady under the tree. But I don't want you to go into her house. I just want you to take me to that moment where the mole stop you from going there.
Okay, it's an oak tree,
Mhm.
and there's a hole in the base of it, and
Mhm.
I climb down, and the roots come out of the ground, the soil, and you
Mhm.
make like stairs so you can walk down the roots, and there's all little lanterns along the corridor,
Mhm.
and then at the end of the corridor, still underground, it's very cold, and there's all creatures and soil, and then at the end of the corridor there's like a hole to where the old woman lives,
Mhm.
and then there's an entrance to a cave, and if I go in that one, it's all different crystals depending on when I go into it, and then that leads me to different places like the beach or the woods or something.
Okay. All right. So I think this is not what it seems to be. So I think the crystals and the beach are a hologram.
Hmm.
I think the old lady's pretending. I want you to poke your finger onto one of those crystals.
It's like rubbery.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
is
a
it really?
shimmer.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
So what's really behind it?
Soil.
Okay.
Oh, burning. Oh, oh, lots of burning trees.
Mhm.
Nothing. There's just like nothing. Everything's burnt down.
Okay.
Oh,
So she's stealing energy from the land, right?
yeah,
And what does she?
she caused it somehow.
Okay. And what does she steal from you when you go down there?
She makes me tired.
Okay. She steals your energy, right?
Mm,
Okay. And this lady, was she once a human being?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Do you think she'll talk to us?
maybe.
All right, we'll try, and if not, then we'll use a different tactic. All right. So
Okay.
see if you can call out to her. Do you know what her name is?
Hillary, Hilda.
Hilda. Okay.
Yeah.
Hilda. Hilda, can you come on out, please?
Oh, she's very cantankerous.
Hello, Hilda. My name is Katische. How are you today?
Disturbed.
Disturbed.
Disturbed now.
Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you, my dear. You must have been very busy, were you?
Yes.
Sorry to bother you. What were you up to?
Stir in a pot.
Stirring a pot. Were you making something delicious to eat?
No,
No? Why not?
I don't need food.
Oh, you don't need food. Oh, okay. Why's that?
Because I live forever.
You're forever. You're a spirit, right?
Mm.
So what's inside the pot? What's inside the pot instead?
Death.
Death. Oh, and what do you do with death?
Put it in the soil.
Oh, you put it in the soil. Right. And why do you do that, love?
To burn it all, because they burnt my village.
Oh dear. Who burnt your village?
The man.
The man. Oh, what men were they?
From the king, they all came on horses and burnt everything.
Oh, which king was that?
George. King George.
George. Okay. So when was King George alive? You'll have to remember, I'm not so good with my history today.
1852.
1852. Okay, my dear. And what happened when your village burned? Did you die as well?
No, I ran and hid in the woods.
You hid in
and
the
then
woods?
They beat me.
Oh.
And then I died.
Okay. And you didn't go to the light then, darling, did you?
No.
No. Okay. You just wanted what?
To curse them all.
Curse them all. Okay. And can you tell me something about you before you died, before all this happened? Tell me something wonderful about you.
I helped ladies have babies.
Oh, did you? That's a wonderful thing to do.
I helped sick children.
Mm-hmm. It's a very nice person to have around, really.
Not many people thought so.
I know, it's quite strange, isn't it? Were they afraid of you?
Yeah.
It's interesting that, isn't it? How people can be afraid of people that can help them. Why do you think that is?
They don't know stuff.
So how did you feel about that? About them being afraid of you?
Lonely.
Lonely. Did you have any children of your own?
One died.
Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that. When your child was a babe, or? Okay. And is that the reason you became a midwife, to try and help people so that their babes didn't die?
No. Just because I was the only one that could do it.
Oh, okay. All right. There's something special inside you that just knew how to do it? So actually you were all about life, weren't you? The gift of life.
I was happy then.
So, but right now you're about the opposite. Death. Does that make your soul feel happy?
No.
No, I didn't think so. It doesn't resonate with me. And the little baby that died, what was the baby's name, your child?
Sally.
Sally. Do you know that all this time Sally's been waiting for you?
No.
Yeah, in heaven, in the light, with the angels. Sally's been patiently waiting for you.
But I can't get out.
But that's where this is your lucky day. This is what I've come to do. I've come to help you so that you can be with Sally again. Would you like that? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I promise you, all we have to do is just visit that last moment before you died without you feeling the pain or anything. But I'm going to show you Sally and where she was waiting for you that you missed, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to drift back with 3, with 2, with 1, the moment just before you die, and I want you to suddenly catch a glint in the back of your eye, and that makes you look upwards instead of down. When you look up, you see a light, and in the light, you see your baby Sally. And she's beckoning to you, Mama, Mama, come this way, come this way. Before you couldn't see because of the smoke, but now you can see, can't you?
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to see that you're just spirit now, so you can float towards Sally. And I want you to feel lighter and lighter and brighter as you float towards Sally. And then you can reach out and take Sally's hand. She's going to take you up with the angels. And you're going to have some healing, and then after that, you're going to have some fun together. All right?
Mm.
God bless. Godspeed. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, Ruby, just one last thing. Okay? Well, two, actually. Stanley. Seeing we're on animals, where's Stanley?
It's on the sofa.
He's on the sofa. Hello, Stanley. Sweetheart. Why are you still hanging around?
It's me.
What is it, Rubes?
I need him.
You need him? Oh, I don't think you need him. You know, Ruby, Stanley is much more powerful and helpful to you if he becomes your spirit dog, your animal spirit guide. I have cats and dogs who are my animal spirit guides, and they help me every day. And they can do much more for me in the light than they can if they stayed behind with me. Because they can see things from the higher perspective. They can see the choices that we have the option to make, and they can comfort us in our time of grief. But the comfort that they can give us in the light has actual healing powers, just like Archangel Raphael has. If you let Stanley go to the light and become your spirit animal, then he can do real healing for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Stanley, well done for letting Mum know that you were there by knocking over the pots and things. Clever dog. Are you happy to go to the light now, Stanley, and accept a position as a spirit animal?
Yeah.
Okay. And Stanley, before you go, have you been with Ruby before as other pets in other lifetimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So Ruby, you've lost him before and he's come back every single time, hasn't he? And Stanley's going to show you now by flashing in your mind just a collage of all the different other animals he's been, not different lifetimes. Can you see that he's never left you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we release him to the light, he has the choice to come back as another pet for you or as the eternal spirit animal guide, which only you and him can make as a decision later on. But he has to be given the option. Otherwise, he becomes a bit like the mole, trapped, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You don't want him to become the mole, do you?
No.
No. So we give him his angel wings now?
Yeah.
So you can give him one last pat and cuddle goodbye. It's really important for you that you heal and let him go now, Ruby. And you must release him completely. Okay, so if you can see any strings or ribbons attaching you to him, you need to cut those now, my darling, and know that they will have etheric ties once he reaches the light, that he can never be separate from you, because we are never separate from our loved ones. And Stanley, when you're ready, you can lick Mum goodbye, and there's a special angel for doggies coming. Oh, my dog Barney says hi. I think the angel is Barney. Bun bun. All right, so just floating and drifting up high. Ooh, a little bit teary myself now. Floating and drifting up high. Rubes, letting him go to the light, knowing that he's going to be an animal spirit guide for you now. From now on, you'll see images of him in your mind instead of physical beings and things that are happening in your house, okay? It'll be a much lighter energy, okay? And he can come to you in dreams and give you messages and steer you on the right path when you need help, okay? And you can begin that, now that he's transitioning into the light, you can begin to paint him as well or make him into something. Stories, craft, art of any kind, you'll get inspired. So let me know when they reach the light.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye. God bless Stanley. Make sure he really crosses over, Rube. Okay. And there's one last person we need to talk to before the end of the session because I don't want to wear you out any longer. Alice, could you please come forward?
Hello.
Hi, Alice. My name is Tish. How are you, my dear?
I'm okay.
Okay. What's wrong? What's on your mind?
Just family trouble.
Family trouble, yeah. Family can be bothersome. What's been going on?
They never do anything right.
Really? What do you mean? Can you give me an example?
Things have to be in the proper places, and people don't put them in the proper places.
Right. And what do you do about it?
I just get mad
Right.
and chun her away.
Does that help anything?
No, they don't
No.
listen.
They don't listen, right? And why don't they listen?
Because I'm not even here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Not even here. Okay, so Alice, you died, didn't you?
Yeah.
And sweetheart, what held you back from going to the light?
I couldn't leave my husband.
Okay. Alice, how long ago did you die?
151 years ago.
151 years ago. Alice, my darling, your husband is in the light waiting for you.
I know.
You know.
I was just, yeah. But I just stayed here because I didn't know what to do.
Didn't know what to do. All right, well, that's easy. That's not your fault. Lots of people don't know what to do. It's not like they give you a school class on it, is it?
No.
Your mum never told you either, did she?
No.
Nobody tells you what to do when you die, do they?
No.
No. So the important thing we need to teach people when they die is they need to look for the light. They need to look for the light. And they'll either see a rainbow bridge or a golden bridge, or they'll see a dove, or they'll see an angel. So shall we go back to the moment that you died now? And
okay.
So, my darling, let's drift away with 3, 2, 1 to the moment of your death without feeling the pain of your death. And I want you to look upwards instead of down and see the light. And I want you to describe it for me.
I'm laid in bed.
Yeah.
And it's in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
My husband's next to me holding my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a yellow white light.
Mm-hmm.
And the ceiling's opening and getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want you to drift away, float away, go up into the light, releasing your husband's hands and then stretching out the opposite hand to the one he's held and grabbing his hand from heaven. You see him?
Yeah.
Perfect. Godspeed, God bless, goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, so Ruby, just resting in that chair now. Just going to call in the angels. All of the angels, please. Ruby's had a very intense session. We'd like to do the healing and sealing and cleansing with light. Heal the spaces left by spirit attachments. We ask the healing spirits of light to heal any after effects of the attachment, including healing any residues of thought or feeling. Ruby, whilst they do that, I simply want you to visualize the light and just assist the rescue spirits of light, the cleansing spirits of light. Just simply clean your body with light, looking for any residues of spirit attachment, which may look like an old frayed rope, an old barnacle, a bracelet or headband, or any object that symbolizes a spirit attachment. And I want you to imagine you can create or discover an instrument of the light that can fully and finally cut away any remnants of old attachments. Focus and cut or dissolve away any last cord or symbolic residue of attachment. And the spirits will send lights to the areas of the body that need it most and throughout your whole body. Imagine, visualize, or feel a white or golden light with a healing, loving, wise energy flowing down from the top of your head, down to your face and your jaw, over your neck and throat, down your shoulders, back and core, filling you with a healing, peaceful energy. Let it flow down your spine, through your chest, spreading deeper with every heartbeat and breath, all the way down to your legs and to your feet. Call upon the healing spirits of light to do the sealing light exercise. Fill those clean spaces with the golden white light that surrounds the whole body in a healing cocoon of light. Find a central point of light within you. Let this light grow from this central point within you and expand it so it surrounds you and fills every cell of your body. Let this aura of light remain strong for the coming minutes and days as Ruby recovers and prepares to fully integrate her experience. Ruby, as you visualize, heal, or feel the light healing your body, you can also focus your attention on healing the emotions from your story today. Recall how your wise self can see things with calm, clarity, and wisdom, and feel the energies of acceptance, forgiveness, and loving kindness. Ruby, you have done great. For the next few days, reduce your schedule of work and exercise and increase your sleep and relaxation. Each morning and night, practice the exercise of scanning your body, cleaning and healing with light, and filling and sealing with light. Ruby, you are free. The old way is over. Any old attachments cannot affect or control you in any way anymore. Any side effects or residues of spirit attachments like unhelpful habits or thoughts, ideas or memories cannot control or affect you in any way anymore. Now, when you look back on spirit attachment, you can see it from a high, non-dualistic perspective. Perhaps there are no good or bad experiences, just experiences that help us learn and grow a soul. A being that gives us a hard time gives us the opportunity to rise above the challenge, so tough experiences can eventually be a blessing in disguise. You have had the courage to set appropriate boundaries and not be influenced by external entities. You now consult your higher self as the ultimate source of channeling energy. You no longer feel the desire to channel any other entities unless directly experienced or requested by your higher self and in the best and highest interests of your soul's development. Your higher self has the highest wisdom, higher than any being or entity other than Source. You have the confidence and clarity to set your intention to follow your own inner light. You've now shown at a high level that you can rise above the frequencies of fear, anger, and deception to choose wisdom, forgiveness, and compassion. You have decided to rise above any heavy energies and choose peace. Imagine all the ways the powerful freedom you have attained in this session can benefit you and your family in the future. You can feel great about all you've learned and done. Congratulations. We thank your higher self and spirit guides for their help and ask that they continue to assist cleaning and healing any old attachments in the coming days and weeks as we continue this process of self-discovery. Now, Ruby, I'll count you up at 5, and at 5 you'll be able to come back fully into the moment feeling good. Coming up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, feeling good.
Wow. I feel like what just happened? Gosh. Wow, thank you so much.
You're welcome.